Hello, everyone. This week we will be covering the executive branch, which is Chapter 8. Here you see to the left is a picture of Governor Abbott, and he has been elected and holding his position as governor of Texas since 2014. We will discuss a couple things about Governor Abbott's stance on various things when it comes to the federal government and also different legislature and different policies that have tried to come about. In addition, I will show a video that talks about Governor Abbott's stance on border security and some of the measures that he has had to take to protect the borders of Texas. And this is as recent as summer of 2019. Also, I'll talk about the powers of the governor, what that all entails, and how that works. Also, the qualifications of becoming a governor. There are certain qualifications as well as what we covered in Chapter 7 for the qualifications of becoming a state legislator. So there are different qualifications to become a governor. I will talk about his terms, different campaigns and whatnot. We will also talk about previous Texas governors, which is pretty interesting because the chart that's in your updated version of this text, which came out a few years ago now, it left off one of the most controversial governors, which really, modified how Texas operates in the executive branch. And it's real interesting that with the new version, this edition, it just left Governor Davis' name off. And that was one of the reasons why, too, in earlier chapters, particularly Chapter 2, I spoke about Governor Davis. We'll also talk about a governor as well as his wife, that was previous in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and their bout with impeachment. And so it just kind of shows you really how impeachment, the way that, within it'll be a short video about it, of how that impeachment actually operates on a state level. It's also the same way as it operates on the federal level. So it'll give you, like a kind of eye into how it all comes about. I will be covering the salary and the compensation of Governor Abbott, as well as the staff members that a governor actually has access and privity to. Additionally, I will talk about the government appointments, which is one good power that the governor has within Texas, being that we have a plural executive, which I will cover in this chapter and the previous chapter too. It means that there is more than one person running Texas. And so when you think about that, if you have 7 people that are running the government, just think about, I mean in the local government, just think about how conflicting some ideas may be. You could take the pandemic, for example. You have some that won't wear masks, meaning, the lieutenant governor and the state attorney general. And then but you have the governor that will wear the mask, but at the same time, he's like, well, the bars need to be shut down, but and then but unless you're serving food, and then you have the issue of, oh, okay, well, but then schools need to be reopened, and but it's kind of, I'm not going to tell those mayors or whatever to do. It's kind of this mixed message kind of thing. So also too, I would discuss in addition to the government appointments, I'll talk about the boards. Just only one, because there's so many, is boards, commission, and regulatory agencies here in Texas. So I'm just going to particularly talk about the State Board of Education and show you a brief video about what that entails. I will also show you in this chapter, and I didn't in the previous chapter, is the previous Speaker of the House, and it was Brenner, and he actually he ended up stepping down. That's why we have a new Speaker of the House in the legislative branch. But I wanted to show you just a couple of brief videos that talks about what happened and why it was such an abruptness of Brenner not continuing. And again, I mean, this impacts the executive branch as well. So this concludes the review of the executive branch, chapter 8. Take care.